Hi, welcome to Portland Film Beat. My name is Dave Poland, and tonight my guest is Stephen Jackley. He's a writer, director, producer, and the owner of Sterling Falls Production. Stephen, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, tell us, how did you come up with the name Sterling Falls?
My hometown is Sterling, Illinois, and the neighboring city is actually Rock Falls. So I just kind of put them together just to go back where I came from.
I've never heard of either one, so it must have been a fun place to grow up.
They're really small.
Yeah. When did you start writing?
Before I could remember. I remember doing it in school a little bit, and I started with short stories, and eventually it just led to screenplays. Right.
We're going to talk about a couple of your shorts tonight, though.
Yes.
How many feature-length films have you written, or screenplays?
I would say about 6 I'm like extremely proud of and I feel like I could try to sell right now.
Right.
But I have a few more that I still need to rewrite. You never stop
so
rewriting.
Did you create the shorts so that you'd actually start creating films?
Yes. I've actually never written shorts before
Okay.
until I was like, okay, now I need to actually do a short film and get it made.
Then what got you first interested in film? You went from a writer, you would
Yeah.
actually prefer writing, right?
Yeah. I started writing, and then when I got about 18, I decided, well, I should probably do something with this career-wise, and so I actually didn't start writing screenplays until I was like 18 or 19.
Okay.
And then once you just start writing them, they become like your little pet projects, and you don't want anybody else to touch them. You kind of want to do them yourself. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you don't co-write with anyone, you write everything on your own?
Yeah, I pretty much write by myself.
Right, okay. Did you ever get any training?
In writing, no. I've taken classes, which I actually find them to be more helpful with like getting it actually done. It puts a time frame to finish it. So I've taken a couple classes that by the end of it, I'm usually
Screenwriting or just creative writing?
PCC, actually. I took a screenwriting class, and I got a full feature done within that whole time frame.
Okay.
So it was really helpful.
So do you follow a process like the Save the Cat, or do you?
I read that.
It didn't work for me.
Yeah, it's something that I just learned over time.
That's okay. Yeah, I agree with you. There's definitely
You make a lot of mistakes.
Do you ever read any books like by Robert McKee, John Truby?
No, one in mind is Robert Rodriguez, but that's more towards filmmaking, Rebel Without a Crew.
Okay, right, yeah, So when did you start your own video production company?
Just this year. I mean, I always had the name in mind.
So, actually, well, tell us, what is the premise of Peekaboo?
Peekaboo is basically about a cult leader that gets executed.
Oh, really?
And the night that he does, one of his former followers, he starts stalking her.
Is that right?
Yes.
And where did you come up with a premise like that?
I knew before going into it, I had no idea what this was going to be when I just knew I wanted to make a short. Okay. And I just, Peekaboo came to me. Peekaboo ICU is kind of a really kind of creepy, if
and
you can do it
ICU
right.
is another film that, that's a tail onto this, right?
Yeah, after I did this, I kind of wanted to go back to the story. This was my first short, so I made some mistakes, and I kind of want to do the story from a different angle and basically explore more.
Right. So we don't have a trailer yet for it, but we do have a bunch of screen grabs.
Yeah.
How about we talk about some of those images, and we'll put them up there on the screen for us to look at. Okay. The first image is the guy in the handcuffs.
Yes.
Who's the character and what's going on?
To start off the story, he basically is Edwin, the guy, the cult leader who gets executed that night.
Okay.
And they go back to an old footage of him. I love those old grainy things, so we kind of change it up a little bit and make them really grainy looking. And he does this monologue, and the guy who plays him is Daniel Stewart, who I appreciate coming in at the last minute. Somebody else had to drop out, and so he learned this page of dialogue and monologue in like 3 days to shoot that scene.
Nice,
so,
worked out
yeah,
good.
He's a trooper.
So our second image that we're going to put up here on the screen so you can see, and who's the actress?
Elise Bosmark.
And what's her role in that?
She's Allie. She's the one that's being haunted, so the main character of our story.
Okay, right. And the scene here, what's going on in that?
She's watching the TV. So
really?
it does a cutaway between him and her, and kind of to show that connection that they have.
All right, and so the third image that we're going to see right now
is when the hauntings start.
That's Elise again, right?
Yeah, it's Elise again. It's basically the beginning of the hauntings for the night.
Okay, great. And so are we looking at a behind the scenes here in the fourth image?
Yeah, we are. I can't really tell what's in that. I think our camera operator, Travis
Right.
Brown, is in there as well.
Oh, is it Travis?
Yeah, I know he's been on your show.
Right, and who, did you have a sound person as well, or?
We borrowed a boom operator who's really never done it before.
Okay, you gotta learn.
Yeah, at last minute, another. I mean, that's just something that happens in production. You know, you don't get everybody you want. So he
Right.
came at the last minute and helped out greatly.
And what's his name?
Cody Marsh.
Good.
Yeah.
That's nice. They like to hear their name.
Yes.
And this fifth image here we're going to talk about.
That's a continuation of the one before when the hauntings first start. There's a certain knock and bell ringing from the door
Is
just
that
to
right?
get it started.
So this last image, this young girl,
yeah.
who is the young girl?
Deja Fitzwater is young Allie. So we, in a way, we kind of
Oh.
show how it started.
Okay, so this is going on for a long time.
Yes, yes. He
So
was
she transforms from this little girl to...
into the character that we know now, and there's
Right.
a lot of hidden stuff in there that, you know, once you watch it, you'll kind of get it, and it'll come
Right.
full circle.
And Peekaboo, was it accepted at the Rising Film Festival?
Not yet. I'm hoping for it.
Body was, and we're going to talk about Body now.
Yes.
So Body is another film you've made. And what is the premise of Body?
It's basically a dialogue piece about 5 people discussing what to do with a dead body.
All right, and so is that what's the premise of it? The 5 people waiting to figure out...
It's pure. This is my way of doing like a Tarantino-esque style, where it's just discussion and people come in and out, and yeah, just 5 characters, 5 actors who did really great work.
How did you come up with the idea for that?
I love working with talent. I love working with actors, and I kind of wanted to explore the talent in Portland. So I did like this open audition for people to video audition in, and found some really great people to come in.
Okay, and can you tell us about who the characters are then? Because we're going to put up some images of them too.
exactly.
So this first image is...
Nicole Resner, who is covered all in blood. She is playing Rebel. And it's like shrouded in mystery. You don't really know how the body got there. It's just about the dialogue. It has nothing to do with anything else.
Okay, and
then we got L.J. Dewey, who plays
can you
Dominic.
say that, his name again?
L.J. Dewey.
Okay.
And he plays Dominic, who is the boyfriend of Rebel. He's basically the voice of reason, while everybody else is kind of bringing in the chaos.
All right, and then who are the other?
Yeah, we
bringing
got
up the other image?
Riley Alexander, and he is playing Jones. And he's kind of the friend of Dominic, who likes to crack jokes at the most inappropriate times.
Okay, and do you have, who's some of the other?
Yeah,
we have other ones?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at those.
Caleb Stavanger and Haley Stavanger, they're married actually, and they both got a role in this,
Okay.
where they're playing boyfriend and girlfriend.
The images are separate here.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
So Caleb plays Artie, and he's the eccentric one. He's like, this is his world type thing. He's a little psychotic. And Haley is just the girlfriend that just happens to be there at the moment.
Right, and so you're going to be shooting, is it called I See You?
Yes.
And that's a follow-up to Peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
And when are you going to shoot that?
We just set dates for the end of September and early October. So
Okay.
it'll probably be like a 3-day shoot.
And are the same characters that were in Peekaboo going to be in that?
Yeah, so Elise Fosmark will have a small role, because by the end of Peekaboo, you kind of want to know where she goes and what her story is. We'll also have Daniel Stewart coming back as Edwin, and the reporter, I don't know if you know Cami Marie.
I do.
Yeah, she had a small part in Peekaboo, and she's actually going to be the main character in ICU.
And I didn't ask this, but how long is the original Peekaboo?
Peekaboo runs just under 8 minutes.
Okay.
And Body is under 8 minutes as well.
Okay, and then so I See You, how long is that one going to run?
It's going to be my longest. That's why it's going to be a 3-day shoot. It's going to be about 20 to 25 minutes.
Good. So
Yeah.
you're
I'm
stepping
growing,
up,
I'm
you're moving
expanding,
up
yeah. I'm taking
to
it slow.
eventually get to your first feature,
Yes,
I hope.
next year.
And what's the name of that film?
We actually have 2 in mind, so we don't know yet, so I don't want to say too much about it. We're just going to see, because there's a horror I want to do, but there's also a really good drama that I've been working on and tinkering with.
Okay. For some of these feature-length screenplays, I mean, since you do a lot of writing and you've written 6, that's quite a few.
Yeah.
Where do you come up with the ideas for them?
There's always a start point. So one of the stories I have, Follow the Leader, is based on a school shooting. And it's just kind of that idea that I want to touch on dark tones, like a school shooting. And then
Very
it just,
dark.
yeah, it just expands from there, and you just come up with characters and just.
You let the story talk to you a little bit?
Pretty much.
Do you come up with an ending in the beginning and middle and then right to it? Or?
No, sometimes I'll have an ending in mind, but I never stick with it because I know I don't want the story to have a direction. Like if it's gonna go somewhere else, I kind of want it to be
Just
that
let
way.
it go,
Yeah.
right? And tell you what's going on. So how do you work with actors?
I think very well.
Okay. No, I know. Good.
I really appreciate the acting, and I love that's one of my favorite parts is going through the video auditions or talking with actors and seeing how to explore certain roles. Because I love the hands-on approach, and plus I love that when they bring new things to the table.
Okay, so you let them explore and then you
yeah,
work
absolutely.
with them? Do you rehearse beforehand if you can?
Body, we had a chance to. I just kind of listened to Jason Hawkins and Nathan Nurain helped me find actors for Peekaboo.
Okay.
We didn't audition anybody. They just told me who they thought was perfect for it. So.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, and then we just got on set and started, and they did amazing. So.
Okay, so how do you work with the cinematographer? I mean, do you let basically like somebody like Travis Brown, he does a great job.
Yeah.
Do you let him just do it, or do you actually have some input?
He doesn't need a whole lot of motivation. He's just amazing at it.
Yeah,
and,
he's a great guy.
Yeah, and then working with
he works
him,
hard too. I've been on set with him. He's nonstop.
No, he is nonstop.
It's almost like, dude, you gotta take a break here. You know, you're making us all feel guilty.
I just let him go until he was ready to take a break. And I met with him twice before, and we kind of talked about things. We got the shot list down, and we worked together to say he
did come up with a shot list.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
So you had a plan.
Yeah, yeah, and he would let me know if something didn't work, and then I try to figure out a way around it. You know, I never really like fought him too much because he knows what he knows what he can do.
Yeah, sometimes you got
absolutely.
let people do their
And
jobs
then-
on a film
yeah,
set.
and then
I'm glad that you do that because there's a lot of people who can't. They have to have ultimate control of everything, and you know what? You can't get a film made, not a good one.
It's about everybody coming in
Collaborative
together.
thing,
yeah.
right? So, did he use his Blackmagic camera, or did you use something else?
Blackmagic shot in 4K.
Is that right?
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
The images look great.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he shot. Is he going to be the one doing I See You? Is
I
that it?
haven't actually found a cinematographer yet, so
You don't
I'm
know
going to
yet.
be talking to a lot of
Right,
people, and yeah, he's going to be one of them.
Okay, so you've made 2 films, right?
Yes,
And-
2 shorts. I've shot 3, but that one's still kind of in
Okay.
post.
What are your strengths as a filmmaker?
Being able to handle things under pressure. If there's a shot that just isn't working, trying to figure out the solution.
Okay.
I think I'm surprised that I did so well doing that.
Is that right?
Yes, it can be nerve-wracking.
Do you ever have to do any rewriting?
With
On
body,
set?
not on set. With body, I would catch people who hit a line really good, and I would be like, all right, keep it that way. And then when we rehearsed, they would say certain things right, and I'd be like, all right, we're gonna do it that way.
Okay. So, as a filmmaker, as your strengths, do you edit as well?
I am not an editor.
Okay, so you just write and
Yeah,
direct.
I write, direct, and produce
And you
it.
have no ambition to be in front of the camera?
No, I wanted to when I was younger. I wanted to be an actor, but I'm too shy. I can't.
Is that right?
Yeah, I can't
okay,
do
well, we
that.
can see a little shyness here.
A little
but
bit.
That's okay. This is your first interview.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get through that. What are your weaknesses as a filmmaker?
Confidence.
Really?
Yeah,
That's good to hear that.
Well, as a writer, I'm a little insecure. I can admit that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but you know what? That helps you improve your writing.
Oh, absolutely. And
People
it
think they're
always-
great writers, and you're supposed to throw away the babies or your darlings or
Yeah.
something like that, which is hard to do because I've written some things that's like, well, that was pretty cool, man. I don't want to get rid of it.
Once
Then
I
you look at it, and you go, but I'm the only one who thinks it's cool.
Once I started writing, I had to take a step back and be like, okay, this one I would direct, this one I would direct, and you kind of got to pick and choose.
Since we're talking about weaknesses and strengths, this is a personal question. I know that you suffer sometimes from depression.
Yeah.
And how does filmmaking help you or impact that? And is it a good thing? You know, tell us
Yeah, oh,
about it.
yeah,
I mean,
writing-
I want to open up. Be an open book here and let everybody know.
Writing was my outlet, and it's more anxiety that kind of steers me towards depression. Like once things start getting anxious within me, and that happened a lot, obviously, in school.
Right.
But it's interesting because when I'm filmmaking, I'm producing, so I'm trying to gather everybody, directing and writing the whole thing. It's not as intimidating as I thought it would be.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You're a little bit afraid of that happening?
Well, I mean,
When
it's
you first
always,
started?
yeah, because, I mean, I'm 30 and I've just made my first short. So yes, it did get in the way a lot.
Right.
And now
Did it keep you from doing it?
it did.
Okay,
It did.
but now that you've done it, it's like, I've got to.
Yeah.
So, in summation, being on set, being involved in all this, writing actually helps you manage the maze through
Yeah,
it.
and directing just is another step of that. It
Right,
helps me
and
a
so
lot.
I'm glad that you talked about that because I hope it encourages people who suffer from depression, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about, it happens to a lot,
yeah.
to seek a creative outlet, and it would
I
hopefully
think it
help
helps
them.
a lot. Anything creative, I think, helps them explore different
Right.
things.
Okay. What is your favorite part of filmmaking? We know about writing.
Yeah, the
You
writing
gotta-
is
you
the
can't
favorite
say
part.
that one.
Okay.
Writing. So
Just being on set, like especially within the first hour, and having all these like energetic people. It might go away towards the end of the night when you've been there like 10 hours. But
it can't
yeah,
go
yeah.
away.
But
you know what? It's fun.
and
if
yeah,
you keep it fun.
and that energetic feel
Right.
that everybody kind of brings to the table and doing their own part.
And also, you know, if you have a great cast, crew, and everybody's working hard and collaborating, and you don't have any, you know, prima donnas on there, it makes it so much more fun.
I haven't had a
And
problem
here's the
yet.
thing is, you know, because one person can make a miserable time for everyone else. So I'm glad that you haven't experienced that.
Not yet.
What's your least favorite thing about filmmaking?
It's usually when the things go wrong. Like that's, you know, it just always is going to happen.
But
like
they
if
happen.
yeah, exactly.
That's why you
and
plan and you're ready
And
for
then
it.
editing's really hard because it's like when I write a screenplay, especially a feature, I usually take a month off after I'm done because it just wears you out. So
And you revisit it and you're like,
yeah,
man, I
and
got to change some of that.
Yeah, I still have my first screenplay I wrote 10 years ago and I'm still rewriting it. So,
Right. Well, good for you.
But when it comes to film, right after you're done, you can't take a month off. You got to get to helping with the editing and making sure that process going smoothly.
Who's your editor?
On Peekaboo is Nathan Narain. He actually jumped in as editor. He has his own software, and he did a really good job. And
Right.
then Max Lagasse did. He's an up-and-comer. He's working really hard for me and Nathan. Hire him on everything because he's just so
Okay.
ambitious.
All right. Gosh, I had a question about that, but that's all right. Did I ask your least favorite thing about filmmaking? Okay. What's your favorite screenplay?
That I ever did?
No.
Oh,
your
just
your screenplay that somebody else has written.
Somebody else has written. One of the first screenplays I've ever read was Reservoir Dogs. I mean,
Tarantino?
heavy dialogue. I love it. It's so amazing.
Well, everything in his is kind of crazy
so good.
dialogue.
I definitely take from him,
So-
especially with Body.
Right. Who's your favorite director? A-list director, and tell us why.
I can never say.
You said Quentin Tarantino a number of times.
Quentin Tarantino is amazing, just in everything he does. I'm also a huge fan of horror, so Wes Craven is amazing. Every movie he's done, Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left, Nightmare, just amazing. I'm also love what John Carpenter did in the '80s, like just all the weird kind of horror
Very
and
weird.
action stuff. So yeah, I would say those three would be my top favorites.
Okay, I do have a question. When it comes to the editing, do you work directly with the editor and have kind of a final cut say in it, or do you kind of let them take control of that?
With Nathan, I could be there more. Max lives farther away, so he sent me like 20 to 30 cuts of the film, and I would tell him back, this needs a change, this needs a change.
Okay.
And with Nathan, I was like, I could actually sit there and we could actually discuss what.
Oh, that's good. Did you do the sound design for them, or did you have somebody else do the sound design?
They did their own sound design, actually.
Oh, Nathan did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nathan's really, yeah.
So he's kind of handy at the whole post.
Yeah, and they've done it before. So,
Right.
Max does a lot of his own stuff.
So here's a question when it comes to these shorts. There's the film you write, the film you direct and shoot, and then there's the final film that's edited. Was there a big change? In feature films, it can be substantial, but in a short, I'm just curious about that.
Body, not so much, because we rehearsed it so much.
Okay.
Peekaboo, and it's on Peekaboo, it's my fault, and I take credit for that. I take blame for that. There was just some shots that I just missed and I overlooked, and we should have actually explored more.
Maybe some inserts and stuff.
Yeah, just some stuff to fill in time. With the features, I'm probably gonna have to do that a lot more because
You got to get the inserts.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
helps the editor with the cuts. Actually, is what it's for.
Yeah,
a lot of them. So.
And I made mistakes, but I think with Body, I think we got what we needed.
All right. So, what is your favorite film? A-list film.
That's a really hard one. I always go back to horror.
Okay.
Nightmare on Elm Street is just one of my all-time favorites.
And
I
so
can watch.
do those films, have they been an inspiration to what you write?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Is that right?
Those films, and then also I've been complimented on my dialogue when writing, which
Mm-hmm.
I take to heart because I'm a screenwriter first. So Quentin Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs, is one of my all-time favorites as well. Just so
Yeah,
good.
as you know, in that one scene where the guy cuts his guy's ear off, that was not planned.
Exactly.
He did that,
And,
So
yeah.
those kind of crazy moments are.
And one of the funniest moments of Body is Riley Alexander did just a perfect look before he said his line, and it just nailed it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
So,
we're looking forward to seeing that then. Is there a common type of film? I mean, you said horror,
yeah.
but outside of horror.
And it might be because like I suffer from depression and had these experiences. I go darker.
Oh,
so
really?
I don't do like not everything is horror that I do, but there's a lot of shades of really dark elements. Especially I wrote a school shooting one. That's not a horror movie, but it definitely has those dark parts in it.
Right. Wow. If you could follow a director for a day, not assistant director, but follow a director and kind of be an apprentice and learning from them about different shots and angles and things like that, who would it be?
Quentin Tarantino.
Is that right?
If it's about the technical aspect, I would love to pick Wes Craven's brain because he does like really psychological horror, and I love that aspect of it. But
Quentin Tarantino sometimes still wants to run the camera,
yeah,
which is cool. I mean, and if you're the director and
if you want,
writer,
yeah.
you get to do those
He
kind of
can
things.
put himself on camera too.
Tell us an A-list actor that you would like to direct, be in one of your films.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is amazing in like everything he does. He's actually somebody who I idolize, and I don't do that with a lot of like celebrities or actors, but just all he's done.
Tell
in
us
this
a
short
film
age.
that his performance really stood out for you.
There's actually a smaller film called Kill Shot that I think he did good with Mickey Rourke. But
I
like
remember it.
yeah, everything he does, I mean, I love. But that's a smaller one that I think people kind of
Okay.
overlook.
Who's an A-list actress you'd like to have in one of your films and direct and work with?
I really like Anna Kendrick, and I would love to put her in a horror movie. I think she'd be good in that.
I don't think she's ever done one, though. Right?
There's a dark comedy called Voices with Ryan Reynolds that she was in, but yeah,
Ryan
I really
Reynolds?
Loved,
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I'll get fired from my job here. Any advice do you have for anyone trying to get started in filmmaking? Because you yourself put it off for a long time.
But I got a lot of writing done, so I don't regret it.
No, well, good. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
I
You
got
should.
it, and I learned a lot. Make a film. That's what I say. Like,
Write it and shoot it. There's a lot of people
do
in
it.
town willing with
and
cameras.
and there's a lot of people in town willing to help you, and
Right.
that's a good thing.
Okay, so what do you consider the elements of a good film? And then again, tell us what you consider the elements of a great film.
I think what makes a great film is dialogue, and I think some people have trouble with that. I've luckily been learning that process for the last like 5 to 10 years.
Write the
so.
subtext?
Yeah,
kinda?
and the backstory. Everybody should have a backstory, even if they're a character in there for like one page.
They should.
You should.
I can't
yeah.
remember who, but they were talking about this guy who only had like 2 lines in a film, and it was probably the most outstanding performance in the film. It's like, the one guy with 2 lines.
You just never know.
Right, you don't know. Where do you hope to see yourself in 5 years then?
I hope that obviously more people know about Sterling Falls Productions, and I hope I can be producing stuff rather than just writing and directing my own things, but I can actually be in that moment where I can give money to other people so that they can
Right.
do their dream.
And so outside of this film that you're shooting in the fall, what's next for you?
I have a short called Eternal, which is going to be only like 4 minutes.
Right.
About a guy and his daughter who's recently turned into a zombie, so it's like a zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
Yeah, really dark, but
Okay, and if people want to find out, you're going to have a Kickstarter going pretty soon.
Kickstarter or Indiego, I
And
haven't decided yet.
you can't really talk too much about it now,
No, not yet.
but people can go to your website and find out about that in a little bit.
Yeah,
in
or
a few
or
months,
my Facebook page. Yeah, I'll be announcing what we're going to be doing. It should be the end of August. We'll have a cut of what we're going to have.
Right,
what we're
and
gonna
so are you going to be doing more auditions for that?
We are hiring one more actress, but we're going to be posting that through Facebook as well.
Okay, all right.
It's a
so
small part, but it's emotional, so she has to.
be able to carry the emotional part to
exactly.
that. So yeah, okay, great. You know what? I had a great time with you here, Stephen.
had
I
fun.
appreciate you being here. I want to thank our executive producer, who is also my wife, Carol Poland. I love her, and she helps set up a lot of this stuff. Our director, who is Ellery Nelson, he does a lot of with the cameras, getting everything ready with me. I have an assistant director, Phil Holmes, tonight. His wife is usually here, but she's not. Phil does an awesome job with the sound and making certain that we look good. And then I also have to thank Christo, who works here at TVC TV, and he helps a lot setting up all these images and the green screen and everything. I have to thank Krista, Joni Jorgensen, Jonathan Kaufman, and the entire crew down here at TVC TV. I also want to thank the people down at PCM TV, Emily and Kate especially, because they're always great help to me. And until next time on Portland Film Beat, shoot for the silver screen.